Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to be talking through my thought process and explaining why I am making all of the decisions I am making in a ranked game of the finals, and I'm also going to be just offering some tips and tricks throughout the match as well. So we've got a light and a medium on our team. The light's using the evasive dash and the sword, and I don't remember what the medium is using, even though it just showed it there. They have a defibrillator anyway, and that's the most important thing. If you're playing medium, just don't throw the game and put defibrillator on. That's all you gotta do if you're playing medium. You can kind of put on whatever else you want, just leave the defibrillator on. But anyway, we're just going to spawn in, and we're probably going to go to whichever vault is closest. I know this map quite well now at this point, so I know at that spawn point I can do a charge and slam, because that's going to increase my movement buff a little bit. So sometimes at the start of the game, depending on where you spawn, you can do a charge and slam because you know you're going to have to run like in a straight line before you turn to get to a vault. But sometimes if you spawn in a location that isn't that one, you might have to go right like straight away to get there as fast as you can. In which case you want to wait till the vaults like spawn in before you use the charge and slam, if that makes sense. Someone's dead. I see a heavy. I get the heavy. I try and have a shot at someone else. I'm just gonna make sure my teammate is okay here. They start rezzing, so I'm just gonna chuck a dome shield on them so they don't get killed, and then I'm going to chuck 2c4 on the enemy's totem, and I'm just going to get that assist. So always very, very powerful to camp enemies' totems in the first and last matches especially. First, because people are kind of reluctant to coin in the first match. It's not really great to be using all your coins in the first match, and you want to camp them in the last match because maybe people won't have coins in the last match, and I just get another kill there. So teammate, our light, did very, very well there. They just got the vault and got out. That's really what you want. Ideally, you want someone to get the vault and get out, and I was able to finish off the team, and then I just get the res. But our light, you know, we've got two good teammates here. Our light has good game sense, medium has good game sense as well. So this is actually going to be a very, very smooth game for the most part. Like, even though we've got a teammate playing light, and light isn't that good in general, they just know how to play the game, and they know how the game works. So this is going to go so much better than like 90% of the ranked games that you will play. Like, yes, playing medium or heavy is probably going to be better than playing light, but you should take anything, and you should take anyone that has good game sense over someone that's like obsessed with the meta and stuff. And our light has good game sense, so that was good. Like, they didn't get tunnel vision on that last fight, they just put the vault into the cash out, and that's all you want really. So orange is showing up here. They have a turret. I get a little bit stuck on this curtain, so I just use the charge and slam because they were still behind me and I didn't want to keep getting shot. So I just stick back here. I see my teammates are both a bit low. I'm kind of trying to hang by the cash out, but then I see an enemy, so I'm just gonna help my teammate out with that. They're dead, and now orange has been wiped. I did chuck a dome shield down, but the light just ran away, and now they're rezzing. But that's okay, because orange was wiped anyway. I don't know if anything's going to happen here, so I'll tell you what, I'm going to skip ahead, and then you'll see if stuff does happen. Okay, so here, there's not much time left in Cash Out A. I see someone hopping over. I'm not too sure if I saw them the first time there, and then I definitely see them the second time. Always good to ping enemies. They're coming through the front door. I RPG them. I think a teammate actually killed them because they had a C4 barrel. C4 barrels aren't as good as they used to be, and now I think they're more prone to killing you than they are killing the enemy, if you're the one using the C4 barrel. Because if anything blows up in the vicinity, you're just going to get killed by your own C4 barrel. So, you know, they're definitely not as good as they used to be. You have to be very, very sneaky if you want to use it. It might even be better if you've got a coordinated team to chuck the 2C4 on it and then let like an invisible light take it somewhere, because they're going to be snappier to get around the place. So yeah, you can try something like that, but C4 barrels in general aren't fantastic now. And if you just RPG someone that's using one, that's like a very, very free kill. So we've just gone to Vault 3, opening this up, and now we're probably going to go to Cash Out B as well, so I'll just skip to when we arrive. Okay, nobody actually goes to Cash Out D, so we put that in, and then we got it, and now we're in first place with 32,000 cash. So no one went to that last cash out. We didn't have to fight anyone. So now we've just left that because it finished. Someone's got cash out C in, and I just want to defend Vault 5. So I'm going to chuck a C4 on that. Look to my left, I see someone throwing grenades. I very nearly died. I still have one C4 on that vault. You want to defend this because you don't really want anyone to put in 2 vaults. 1 vault is okay because we're in first place. No one can win. Like, we're still going to qualify if someone puts 1 vault in, but if 2 vaults get put in, then maybe there's a chance that we're not going to win anymore. I'm not doing the math right now. I will do the math in a second, but not right now. So in general, you don't want 2 vaults to go in if you're pretty far ahead like when the match is nearly finished, you don't want 2 volts to enter during the overtime. 1 volt is okay, because if 1 volt enters here, there's no way that we could lose unless we got wiped, but we just wouldn't get wiped. So yeah, I'm going to get rezzed here by my teammate, I think. And then we're probably going to try and defend Volt 5 or Volt 6. I don't actually remember. I get rezzed, I say thanks. Make sure the RPG is reloaded, that's always good to do. And now I'm going to charge and slam towards purple, because I don't want that volt to go in. You don't want this volt to go in, because, you know, there's just a small chance that it's going to be a little bit harder for you to win the game if 2 volts get put in and someone is opening Volt 6. So you don't want to put this into a cash out, you just want to defend it. I try and chuck it to my teammate. Teammate's going to res my other teammate, which is perfectly okay. And by the way, teammate's doing something good here as well. Don't coin. This is like really, really not much point in coining here at all, so just don't do that. You don't need to coin here. They're just going to get rezzed. Are they? I think my teammate maybe went to res them. Oh no, they still are. I think they still are. We're getting chased here a little bit. I'm still detected by recon sensors. I left that volt there because I was nearly dead and I didn't want to keep carrying. I didn't want to die because it's not going to be good to get team wiped here. So I'd rather sacrifice the volt and not get team wiped than getting team wiped here, because then we don't have a substantial lead, and that's just not going to be good for this endgame. I get a nice RPG. Now I think teammate's going to get res. They get defibrillated. And now Volt 5 is going into a cash out, and Volt 6 is going into a different cash out. This, in most situations, would be bad. But I sit here and I do something I don't normally do. I just do the math. So we have 33,000 cash. One of those cash outs is 22,000. So even if purple got it, right, they still wouldn't be ahead of us. They'd have, what, they'd have 32,880 cash. I think, anyway, that's, yeah. Anyway, they wouldn't be ahead of us, meaning there's no way we could lose because everyone else has less cash than purple. So if purple isn't ahead of us, no one else is going to be ahead of us either, which means we're just going to qualify. So both my teammates go to fight, that's perfectly okay. If you have a coordinated team, 2 of you can go to fight, and 1 of you just stays back and make sure you don't get killed, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm just going to cop on top of this crane because it's a relatively safe area, and I'm just not going to die, going to stay super far away, not get killed for the next 12 seconds, and then we're going to win the game. Because, well, purple does actually have 19,000 cash now, meaning I think they will be ahead of us, because they must have got a few kills or something, but everyone else is significantly less cash than purple, so they can't overtake us. So purple does have more than us, they finish with more than us, but we still qualify. So just every now and then it's good to do a little bit of math, especially when you're like substantially in the lead, and you know, not getting wiped for the most of the game and opening all the vaults and getting all of the vaults into the cash out. All that cash adds up, and then sometimes it leads to situations like that where you don't need to go for either of the cash outs even if it's entered overtime, and that's greatly beneficial sometimes. But yeah, on to the next round. We open the first vault, we put the first vault into the first cash out, and no one's there, so we don't see anyone for the entire game, and I've just spent some time kind of trying to reinforce this area with goo and some gas as well, which is what I'm doing here. I've got C4 on the cash out already, but we haven't seen anyone yet, so this is going to be the first encounter of this match. And I think I'm going to fall down here at some point. I think I'm going to do something silly. So I've spent a while destroying all of the zip lines around this area as well to make it harder for the enemies to get up. And I think that's actually going to be my downfall here a little bit. Yeah, I fall all the way down, and I've already destroyed all of the zip lines, so that's not great, because this is exactly when we run into enemies. So you do want to be a little bit careful to not really fall down, especially when there's not much time left on the cash out, because sometimes that's really not going to be great for you. Someone's at it. I try and blow up my C4. It doesn't work. I just have to hope my teammates can handle this because I'm a bit stuck right now. And sure enough, they do. They just get the team wipe. So that's very, very, very good. And I just say thanks at some point. Yeah, there it is. So that was very, very well played by my teammates. I don't know what they did. Maybe they just stunned whoever was stealing the cash out, but they also don't die, which is great. And I did fall down there. So I messed up a little bit, but my teammates were able to cover and we still got the cash out. But you do want to be sure also not to leave the cash out too early, because otherwise someone might be able to steal it very last second, which is never very fun for anyone. But we get that one, and now we've gone to the next vault. Pink is just ahead of us. They must have got like an extra kill or something. Why have they got an extra 40 cash though? Why? What gives 40 cash? Maybe they got wiped before. Maybe that's what happened. But anyway, we're opening Vault 3. And we're just going to pop this into the next cash out. One of my teammates mark Vault 4. I'm not sure if they're going to go for that. Sometimes you can open 2 vaults and then just only take one in. Sometimes you can open 2 vaults and then take both of them into different cash outs. What you don't want to do is take 2 vaults into the same cash out. That's never going to be good for anyone. But you can open 2 vaults sometimes, because that's just going to give you 2,000 cash instead of 1,000 cash. And if you're able to open both and put both of them in, then that's going to be 4,000 cash. Yeah. 2,000 for opening them both, and then 4,000 for... It's going to be 6,000 cash, actually. Yeah. Which is, like, a significant amount. It's like half of the first cash out. So you can do that sometimes, but Purple was opening that vault, so we're not able to do that there. We just get the vault into D. I'm going to spend some time reinforcing this area. Whenever you, like, get a cash out in and there's a bit of downtime, you can just reinforce it. Like, I've got a gas barrel, I've used a goo barrel already, teammates using a goo barrel as well, so it's not like you just really have time to stand around and not do anything. You can always be trying to reinforce the area somehow, which is exactly what we're doing here. Because, like, you just want to make it so that the enemies have to take as long as possible before they can steal the cash out. So that's why you do team wipes. It's so that there's like a 30-second cooldown before they're back. That's why you do goo, because it's something they have to destroy. That's why you do gas, because, you know, they either have to coordinate and heal each other through the gas, or they have to, like, get rid of the barrel, or blow up the floor, or something like that. The whole game is based around, like, trying to waste the enemy's time as much as possible. So any little thing you can do in this downtime is going to be beneficial. So that's why there's C4 in the cash out. That's something they have to deal with. They have to destroy it, or they kill me so I can't blow it up. And then I see the enemies, so I mark them. But you can do stuff in that time, and then you can also obviously be looking around for them, which is what I do there, and I spot them and I ping them, and now we all know where they are, which is good. I'm staying here because I see that the goo is blowing up. I RPG the heavy. I didn't RPG them closer because my teammate was a little bit in front of me there. If I tried to direct them with the RPG, I think I would have blown myself up. So do be careful. If a teammate's quite close to you, you have to make sure you don't RPG them, because that's going to blow you up as well and do a bunch of damage. But I saw the light trying to res their teammates, and I just killed them. And that is a team wipe. And I'm just going to skip ahead. I'm not sure if something happens here or not, so I'll just skip ahead and we shall see. Right, well, we get the cash out, and then we're going to defend Vault 5. You don't want to open this, you don't want to put this into the cash out, you just want to defend it. I wasn't expecting there to be people here, so I just slowly back out and mark them. No need to rush in. That's not really going to do anything. It's just going to be detrimental to your teammates. So just back off, mark them, and then go in with your teammates. I get a kill, and now I go in because now, like, I've got a dome shield I can throw if I need to. There's a bunch of gas, so that almost kills me. That was just a little bit unfortunate. I thought it was like the alien beams, but I think it was actually gas, so I just got a little bit confused there. I do die, but then I get rezzed, and I get healed as well. Defibrillator plus healing beam is very, very, very powerful. Teammate opens Vault 5. You don't want to do that. You don't want to open either of these vaults. Now, I know there's the argument that if you open it, you can bring it somewhere far away, but that's never, never, never going to be better than just leaving it. Because if you leave it, that buys you an extra 20 seconds of time. So if you leave it, the enemy has to open that vault, and that just buys you 20 straight seconds of time. If you open this vault and someone kills you and it's like a light with evasive dash, they can traverse the map really, really quickly, and maybe they kill you really quickly as well. Maybe it only buys you like 5 seconds of time. So they, like, if the vault's open, they just take it and run. If the vault isn't open, they have to wait 20 seconds before they can take it and run. So it's always going to be better to not open these, rather than doing what we're doing here, which is just to, like, leave it in a very defended area. This is okay, and, like, sometimes you do want the 1,000 cash for opening it, but if you want the 1,000 cash for opening it, just open it, like, last second. It's not really good to open this in general. You don't really want to. 20 seconds left in the game, though. Vault 6 doesn't look like it's going anywhere. This one doesn't look like it's going anywhere. So we're probably just going to camp here for the next 10 seconds, and then we are going to win. So neither of these vaults are going to be put in, and we're just going to comfortably qualify with another 33,000 cash. So both of these games went really, really well. I think the next game, I don't remember, but I think I do something silly in it, or I played poorly in it. But those first 2 games went really, really well. I don't think we even got team wiped. It was all, like, quite smooth, and now we're just going to be on to round 3. Now, this is round 3. Earlier on, I would have said something about using the charged SAM straight away when you know the spawn point. This spawn point, I got a little bit ahead of myself. This is where you wait a second and then use the charged SAM, because I would have been able to use it to get to Vault 2 faster. So I used that one slightly incorrectly, and you do want to watch out for that. If you want to try and get to somewhere as fast as possible, then just wait for the vaults to spawn, especially if you're not sure about where you spawn. Wait for the vaults to spawn, look at where they are, and then use the charge and slam for the movement buff. Because that might let you get there faster than the other teams, and then that's going to give you 1,000 cash for opening the vault, which can make a difference at the end of the match. So Vault 2 has been opened. I see my teammate is low here, and now I'm just going to try and help them out. Always good to try and help out your teammates if you see where they're low, and because like it probably also means there's enemies there. So if you haven't seen any enemies yourself, and your teammate's low, that's going to be where the enemies are. They're going to be by your teammate that's low. Now, our light just tries to run off with the vault again. This is really good. Like, a lot of times people have really long fights by the first vault, and that's normally really bad, especially if it's not in the final round. Just take the vault and put it into the cash out, and look, now we're in first place with 3,000 cash. So you really don't need to fight in a lot of situations in this game, even though it happens a lot. You just don't need to. Like, our light was waiting for me there to go to this cash out, and it's the complete right decision. Now, our other teammate got a little bit of tunnel vision, and now they're dead, and like, they haven't got any cash. Like, if they got a kill, they would have got 200 cash, but 200 cash really isn't that much. So, like, they should have just come with us. They probably got a bit of tunnel vision, which does happen. It happens to me as well. It happens to everyone. But you want to try and not get tunnel vision. You do want to just try and focus on the objective. Now, I think we're going to die at some point. Teammate's gone for the res. I'm staying by the cash out so I can, you know, do something if someone tries to come. I could have gone to res with my teammate, but they're up now, so it's okay. And I'm marking the enemies so my teammates know where they are. I RPG the heavy. It's always good to, like, get a little bit of damage in, especially if they're coming. Now, one teammate dies. I'm going to try and hit this medium. I whiff all of my shots, and I don't even finish them. And now I die to another medium, and they res the heavy. So this isn't good. I get defibrillated. I try and chuck the dome shield down and charge the Sam through the wall, but I am going to get finished off at some point here. Yeah, just before I get through that door. If you ever get killed like that, when you think you're kind of around the corner, and then you get killed, the enemy isn't cheating. It just happens because everything is server side, which means there's like a little bit of like some type of delay. So sometimes you'll think you're around a corner, but you're actually not, and that's how the enemy gets that last shot off on you. So if you've experienced that, that's just a normal thing, and you know you'll get used to it at some point. It is a little bit annoying, but it happens. So now we're going back to cash out B. Why? Because two teams were fighting there. Two teams were fighting there, and if you go back. Oh no, this isn't that bit yet. That's later on in this video. Never mind. We went to cash out B here. No, I think it is this bit. Were two teams just fighting there? I don't remember. I think there were two teams just fighting here, and we went here because there were two teams fighting, which gives us a chance to get it back. I think that's what happened, but maybe that's later on. I might be completely wrong on that, because I was thinking about some other thing I was saying. But anyway, we don't get the cash out, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Purple played well there. They put C4 and breach charges on the bottom of the cash out, so that when we tried to steal it, they just blow it up and we'd fall down, and they had a nicely placed dome shield as well on the level below. So that was really nicely played by Purple. That's like a nice trap you can set up. It's not going to be great if there's lots of time left on the cash out, because then they're just going to target you before the cash out. But if there's not much time left on the cash out, those kinds of traps can be very good, and they could just like buy you that extra second of time, and it can allow you to wipe the enemy team, which is what happened to us there. So far hasn't been great. We're in third place. We need a cash out here, so we're going to go to Vault 4. A teammate marked cash out D. Now I was going to Vault 4 because it wasn't opened yet. I didn't know who was there, and teammate must have used the spectating mode better than me, because they knew that someone was going to open that, which is why they marked cash out D. You go to cash out D here because most likely someone's going to go to this one first instead of C, and you always want to go to the cash out that's been put in first. Again, teammate got a bit of tunnel vision. They weren't listening to where we were picking, and now they're dead. I think that's the second time that it's happened to them. So you do want to make sure you're trying to listen to your teammates' pings, especially if two of them are pinging the same thing. Like, even if it's the wrong decision, you do want to go with both of your teammates in most instances, rather than just kind of going off on your own. So you got to be snappy to react to those pings. It's like a fast-paced game, right? You have to make decisions quickly. I marked their totem. Now, if someone marks your totem, don't coin. They coin, though. And it kind of works out okay, but in general, you don't really want to coin unless it's round 3 or round 4. I think this is round... Is this round 3? Maybe this is round 3. I'm actually not sure. But anyway, in general, you kind of want to refrain from picking. And if someone marks your totem, don't coin, because it means they're going to res you. But they coined. We do have the cash out in. I sacrificed myself there to put the cash out in, because now both of them have been put in at a similar time, which is beneficial to all teams, because it means no one's going to third party it at the beginning and no one's going to third party it afterwards. There should be 2 teams at each cash out, and that's beneficial to everyone. So what you don't want is one vault to be put into a cash out really far after, because then it's just going to be bad for one of the teams. Like, either everyone's going to third party at your cash out, or everyone's going to third party at the other one afterwards, and neither are good, really. Light's trying to res me. I am just going to coin, though, because I see that, like, there is another enemy there. I don't know how they're going to deal with that. I think they might get shot. So I'm just going to coin, because I see my other teammates there. So I just want to make sure we don't get wiped here, because we're not going to have much time to fight back at this cash out if we get wiped. Now, note that RPG. I didn't do it as soon as they entered the room. I did it, like, I backed away and then RPG'd the corner, because that didn't do any damage to me. So once you're used to how much range and how much AoE the RPG has, it's going to allow you to not blow yourself up. You want to make sure you don't blow yourself up with the RPG, but you do want to use it on enemies still at close range, because it does do a lot of damage, right? So that's like a nice thing to note. Just try not to blow yourself up. Try to blow the enemy up. Maybe even back out. Maybe even like run away and then chuck a dome shield down and then RPG. Just try not to blow yourself up, because it does do more damage to you than it does to the enemy, because the self-damage multiplier is much higher. So we have this cash out. We did a risky steal. Teammate was healing me as we did it. I get a teammate up. I blow up my C4. This person is low. Teammate hits them. I charge on Sam. We get the cash out. So that was pretty good. I think the enemies thought we were dead because, you know, I was hiding in the corner or resing. Note how I didn't take my teammate's totem rather, very far away. A lot of the time I'll be dead and a teammate will take my totem really far away before resing me. You don't want to do that, because if I res my teammate far away there, we wouldn't have been able to get back to that cash out in time. Then maybe purple would have got it and we might not have had time to steal it back. So yes, you want to res in a secure location, but you never want to like bring the totem really far away. In like 99% of situations anyway. I am gonna die here. I get murdered a little bit by someone from really far away that I didn't see, and then this guy just finishes me off. Light tries to heal. Light dies as well. So that was not great. And now there's one teammate left. 1 minute 18 seconds left in the game. We're in second place. So ideally, yeah, that's a really bad place to get team wiped. And the reason for that is because purple is opening a vault. And if they get that vault into a cash out, they're going to have 14,015 cash, meaning they'll only need like 2 kills to be ahead of us. So that was a really bad place to get team wiped. It would have been much better to just stay away and let us coin, or just go for the res. You really didn't want to fight in that situation. And we basically just have to get another cash out to win this, because one of the vaults is going to go into one of the cash outs, right? So we might as well put it in, and that makes sure that purple isn't gonna go ahead of us. Now, a teammate here does something interesting. They're banking on Vault 6 not going into the other cash out. And I'm marking here because if Vault 6 does go into the other cash out, we want to put our Vault into cash out A. But like, this is very lucky, but it looks like no one is putting Vault 6 into cash out B. But if they did, like, we would have had to go to cash out B because the teammate brought the Vault really far away. So, like, we were only in second place. If someone starts a Vault at cash out B here, then, like, we don't want to fight at that one because everyone's going to fight at this one. We would want to fight at the other one where there was only going to be, like, one other team. So, do be aware of taking the Vaults far away from the cash outs at the end of the game, because sometimes whether or not you put the Vault in depends on what a different team is doing with the other Vault. But it does end up working okay because no one put the other Vault in, so that was a little bit lucky. You do want to be aware of that. And now we're on to the final round, but this is going to be very short. Why is the game short, you ask? Well, that's because we're playing against cheaters, and I'm just simply not going to show the whole game. The cheaters absolutely stump us here. You can see that good old aimbot right there. And I immediately checked the scoreboard. I'm just like, well, that guy is cheating. I think it's back to life on the enemy team. But yeah, this whole game isn't going to go very well at all. I'm not going to waste your time with more on this final round here, because it doesn't go well at all. I only got 1 kill one teammate got 1 kill. We all died a bunch of times, and the cheater finished with 10 kills and 6,000 damage. So definitely, and in the final round, 10 kills in itself is quite a lot, because there aren't many fights in the final round. Again, matchmaking system's really weird. We've got 1 gold player, I'm in plat, and then we've got 1 diamond player as well. So that's a bit all over the place, but both my teammates are really, really good. They both had good game sense, but unfortunately, you know, game sense doesn't defeat cheaters or aimbot. So a little bit unlucky, but we did still go up like 300 points. So yeah, there you go. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be it for this video. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Farewell.